7 points in the fourth quarter. Here's what it means in the big picture in the standings. Philly, a game up on New York, 2 games up on Milwaukee. And we asked Brandon Jennings about the magnitude of tonight's game against the Knicks.
That's really fair. The fact that we're 1 game out of the playoff race and they're right ahead of us. And plus, we're looking to close the series out against the Knicks. Tonight, we're at home on national TV, so it's going to mean a lot more. So this is going to be a type of, like a playoff atmosphere type game tonight.
Well, the Bucks missed the playoffs last year. They were in it 2 years ago. It's the last game of a 5-game homestand, and they get the tiebreaker if they defeat the Knicks tonight. Good hustle by Sanders. Jennings getting a breather on the bench. Well, shop NBAstore.com, folks, for the best selection of New York Knicks and Milwaukee Bucks gear. Choose from jerseys, t-shirts, hats, and a lot more. NBAstore.com, one store, every team. 6 on the shot clock for Carmelo Anthony. Nice ball fake, and he draws the foul on Bahamute. It's the second foul on Bahamute, and Carmelo comes up holding that right wrist or hand area.
It looked like he took a shot from Bahamute. Watch how hard he rakes him across the arm there. Right at the end. How about this? You got to come back with Carmelo because you're anemic offensively without him. The Bucks trail by 14 with 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go in that first period, and now look at it. How about that for a turnaround?
It's been almost 2 different games.
They've made 10 of their last 11 shots.
Carmelo Anthony, meanwhile, an 80% free throw shooter on the season. Really, Doris had that signature game. You did the game against Chicago in New York at Madison Square Garden. 43 points, a couple of huge 3-pointers. It's a type of game that really kind of puts you in a good groove, isn't it, going down the stretch?
I don't think there's any question. It goes beyond that. I thought Howard Beck from the New York Times said it perfectly. That's the kind of game that reshapes impressions, right? I mean, he had been taking an awful lot of heat and criticism. The Mike D'Antoni departure, obviously, some resistance from Carmelo as to the system. So, you know, things were not going smoothly. That game can change an awful lot of things, including perceptions.
3-point Milwaukee lead. Under 7.5 to go here in the first half. Good screen by Carmelo Anthony. Novak wide open, and Novak knows the rims here very well. He started at Marquette University nearby.
Yeah, trying to find shots with room and rhythm have been difficult for him. In that instance, Bibby sets him up perfectly.
He had been struggling before that last make. Monte Ellis with a 3 to counter. Both teams continuing to sizzle from the field. New York shooting 66%, Milwaukee 58%. Novak. Boy, look at Delfino right up in Carmelo Anthony. Nice pull-up. Boy, it didn't matter, did it?
No, and I say
wow.
That's the game plan, though. And I think if you're going to get beat by Melo, make him do that to you. Make him beat you with the dribble. When he's got it going, boy, forget about it.
Anthony still holding that wrist. Dunleavy missing. Andrew Fields with the ball. Carmelo Anthony is going to be called for the offensive foul on Dunleavy.
See what we mean about the smart play of Mike Dunleavy on a couple of occasions. A hard screen there by Carmelo Anthony. I think he knows he got away from one. He like leaned away, and then how about that? I mean, on the catch, Delfino's there. He's trying to get in his space, make him use the dribble. But sometimes it doesn't matter, especially when he's at this level. This guy, an impossible check when he's got it going.
Approaching the midway point of the second quarter, Ellis raising up and knocking it down. It was thought to be a little bit of a gamble when they traded for him at the trade deadline. But he's got 16 points, and he's had some big games for the Bucks. Well, Brandon Jennings in the show opening talking about how the chemistry between the two of them has worked out well. Novak on the miss. Bucks looking for the push. Dunleavy on the baseline, got it.
I mean, you can't say enough about this guy. Smart, runs the floor, spaces you out. A lot of little subtle things to Mike Dunleavy's game.
He's got 16, a foul underneath. Ellis has 16. 3 players from
Into a shooting motion. A guy who runs the floor, can space you out a little bit. Watch the ball side cut. He's keeping his eye on Brandon Jennings. Cuts to the middle of the floor, which is open. Look at the challenge. Remember the foul he drew on that one shot where he gets himself to the free throw line. He completely sold it. Then the relocation, right, in transition. Well, geez, the paint's taken away. So I'm going to go right to the short corner. There's just so much to love about this guy's game. And his smarts may be the most important piece of the puzzle.
great basketball lineage. Of course, his father, a former NBA player and coach. Coached here for the Milwaukee Bucks for a time, the Los Angeles Lakers. Grew up around the game.
It's no coincidence they have made this great push against New York when Dunleavy checked into the game.
Well, he did have a 24-point half against New York's team a couple of weeks ago. 3-point ball game. Baron Davis back in the ball game for the Knicks. 10 on the shot clock. Dunleavy lost control. And here comes New York. Novak thought about it, then pulls the trigger. Oh, Jeffries had an easy tip and missed it. Here's Delfino. Good defense by Jeffries, standing his ground. Udo a little bit strong, but a whistle called and a foul. It's going to go against Landry Fields. Actually, Jared Jeffries. That's his first 4th-team foul.
I wonder if this is going to be a Jeffries substitution. Tyson Chandler getting set to check back in. And Jeffries on some minutes restrictions. Now 15 minutes or so. Next 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, missed a bunch with that knee injury.
Yet everybody's sort of being mindful. You watch Chicago not play Derrick Rose. I think what you see, and to a lesser extent in terms of health, I think the San Antonio Spurs, Coach Popovich just making sure his guys are rested. But it's just interesting to try to watch these coaches manage injuries and try to put as much in their favor as possible in terms of their health as you move toward the playoffs.
Davis working against Jennings, a couple of guys from the Los Angeles area. 7 on the shot clock for Carmelo Anthony. Pull up over Delfino. Fields kept it alive and is rewarded for the hustle. And it's down to a 2-point game. Andrew Fields having a pretty good sophomore season. Udo had knocked away and stripped by Davis. Carmelo on the move. Oh, what a shot. A scoop shot by Carmelo, and he's in double figures.
What is to be done with that?
Jennings with the high floater off glass. Kept it alive. Those are the ones that New York usually gets with Chandler. Here's Dunleavy. Jennings probing back out to Ellis. And Chandler clears for New York. 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. In a high-scoring game, this a battle for the 8th and final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. Milwaukee trailing New York by 1. And Davis turns it over. He got a little too fancy. It's a 2-on-1, and Jennings with the finish.
9 first-half turnovers. Remember, the Bucks were targeting sort of a high teens, low 20s number. They felt like their chances were good.
Tyson Chandler got drilled by Udo. Aaron Davis getting a little careless on that last possession for us.
Yeah, it did the hard work, got by initially, but then a little careless. It leads to a numbers opportunity, and this is where Brandon Jennings talked about Monte Ellis being a willing passer. You know, he said he's, you know, you asked him, was he surprised about anything? He said how willing he is to give the basketball up.
Ellis averaging almost 6 assists per game. Tyson Chandler now at the free throw line for the New York Knicks, the only member of that team with a championship ring. And he brings so much wisdom and great experience to this Knicks roster. Even in admiring Scott Skiles' I was talking about what a presence he's been for New York at the defensive end of the floor. Of course, Skiles coached Chandler, and Chandler was with the Chicago Bulls earlier in his career.
For 3 years, in fact. And he said he always had the passion and the energy and tried to affect winning, but he said he's much better now at sort of channeling that energy. Boy, you can't find anybody who's been a teammate of Tyson Chandler who criticizes him.
Tied at 52 after the free throws. Under Kobe Bryant and the Lakers aim for a season sweep against the Mavs, the NBA Sunday on ABC. And right now, let's take a look at all these series of great plays brought to you by Cisco. And we're going to really slow it down for you, folks. Check out the respective expressions and nuances of the game here.
How about Monte Ellis using the opposite side of the backboard? And then look at this. We love this shot opportunity. An interesting one by Melo.
Exactly 3 play as Davis knocks down the free throw. But what a turbulent year. Just thinking about the Mavs-Lakers game coming up on ABC. What a year it's been for the Dallas Mavericks. Most recently, Lamar Odom and the team splitting ways for the remainder of the season. A failed experiment that really didn't get much out of Odom at all.
Yeah, and Mark Cuban basically saying we're hoping for addition by subtraction. A disappointing year. I know there were a lot of personal problems for Lamar Odom, but I think you can almost forgive. You see a lot of dribbling by Brandon Jennings. You can forgive sort of maybe a lack of understanding about how best to use him or him meshing in. I don't think you could endure sort of feeling like his heart wasn't in it.
The lob broken up nicely. Here come the Bucks leading by 2, and they give it right back. Fields fouled by Delfino.
It's not as though the Dallas Mavericks are a hard locker room. I mean, that's a group of guys and an ownership group that is committed to winning. And they would have embraced him with open arms. They want as much talent around him to try to repeat as possible. So you really have to put the onus on Lamar Odom in that instance.
Had a chance to spend some time with Mark Cuban a few days ago down in Miami when they were there. And he said, we've done everything in our power to make Lamar feel comfortable here in Dallas. And for whatever reason, it ultimately didn't work out. Dallas, the number 7 seed right now in the Western Conference. Denver at 8. Carmelo with the rebound, put back good. The Phoenix Suns in the 9 spot in the Western Conference. You'll see them on ESPN Friday night against the Houston Rockets, who have been red hot of late.
You see Melo make that off the free throw. Nice pass. Pretty play by Monte Ellis. So I'll tell you what, between points and assists, Brandon Jennings and Monte Ellis have been heavily involved in everything they're doing. It's 12 assists and 29 points amongst them.
Put back to Davis. 1.5 to go here in a very high-scoring first half. This is the battle for the 8th and final.